Roman Reigns is expected to miss Extreme Rules 2022. Plus, an ex-AEW talent felt unheard by management, and top AEW stars are competing at ROH Death Before Dishonor. Find out who in the wrestling news right now. Where is Roman Reigns, Andrew?
He's over there.
Oh, there he is. Fine. Sorted. More wrestling news throughout the day. No. What's going on?
So WWE has released a poster for October's Extreme Rules event, and on the poster we see, it's right there in front of us, we see Riddle, Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins, Rhea Ripley, Drew McIntyre, and Becky Lynch. But Tom, no Roman Reigns. So Reigns has missed Hell in a Cell and obviously Money in the Bank this year as well, but will compete at SummerSlam against Brock Lesnar in the Last Man Standing match, and he's also reportedly scheduled to compete at Clash at the Castle 2 in Cardiff. And this, to me, feels like, again, what we've heard, they're very much kind of saving him for the bigger events throughout the year.
Yeah, he's very much cutting a Brock Lesnar schedule these days. Some people have led this to think the fact that he's not booked for Extreme Rules, that means he's losing the belt at SummerSlam. No,
I don't think so.
It doesn't mean anything now, because I think that he missed Money in the Bank and he missed Hell in a Cell. I don't think it means anything. I think because then that would suggest that if Brock Lesnar wins the title, then he's missing both as well, isn't
of course.
he? He's missing both of them too. I mean, it makes... It's frustrating because I know as a wrestling fan, when Brock Lesnar was the guy at the top of the tree, we were frustrated by the fact that he wasn't on telly every week.
Yeah.
That was a frustration for all. In theory, pun intended, it should have meant that younger stars fill that gap.
Yes, of course.
And they sort of build the company around those other stars. Whether we continue to see that happen, I hope we do.
Yeah, fingers crossed. You'd have thought so, at least, wouldn't you? You'd have thought they'd have started to build sort of credible challenges, at least, to Roman Reigns, I think. You know, to make it feel a little bit more special, because obviously, as you just said, we had the whole Brock Lesnar stuff, and he went away for ages at a time and whatnot. And I think at this point, at least in my opinion, it would have felt nice to see people challenge Roman Reigns. Yes, perhaps, they're not going to win. In the grand scheme of things, they're not going to win, but at least we see some really sort of unique matchups to make this reign feel really special until we get to the end where he finally drops the belts.
There are some that are concerned that we might not even see Roman Reigns at Clash at the Castle in Cardiff. Ooh. And I don't think that's an issue, because it's at the Principality Stadium. If it was at a Genting Arena somewhere, if it was at the Utilita in Newcastle, I would say it probably won't rock up. But for the Principality, which is a massive stadium,
and the first time that they've been here in a very long time too, right? I think you've got to go all out for something like that.
I think they'll throw everybody available at that Clash at the Castle show. And it's, and obviously there's a bit of bias because it's in our neck of the woods. So of course we're keen to say that, but I genuinely think that's the plan. I think we'll see Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. We definitely will see him at SummerSlam. We'll definitely see him at Clash at the Castle, and then I would be shocked if we see him on pay-per-view again before Survivor Series. I would say. Let's talk a little bit about some ex-AEW talent. Kia Stevens had a lovely chat with Chris Van Vliet on his podcast Insight, and she talked about some of these. She had a run within AEW early on. Awesome Kong really made her presence felt in the early days. And she said, I don't want to sound like I'm bashing the crew over there at AEW, especially since we were just up and running. We were all new executives trying to think outside the box and really give it to you. Something new, something that hasn't been seen. We've seen it all. We're trying to give you something that you haven't seen. I felt, however, unheard. I wasn't in control. All I could do was say, I have this idea for X, Y, Z. I couldn't get in the room where the final decisions were made. Believe me, Kia Stevens stalked that room. I'd stay there after big meetings and be like, you need me to go? Oh, okay. I tried to get into the last meeting where decisions were made, but I never had the chance to. And I don't know how much that situation has changed since then. I feel like, because AEW always kind of, it seems, in comparison to WWE, they kind of let the talent control their own destiny a bit. It seems that way. So I'm surprised to hear, some wrestlers probably don't get that sort of
Yeah.
luxury.
And kind of like what we were sort of talking about previously with Colt Cabana and stuff as well. I think when you've got someone such as Awesome Kong, you know, he's got a fantastic legacy and whatnot, like you'd maybe think that they would listen to superstars like that, right? That have been and done so much stuff before, had so much experience in different promotions. You would have thought they would have maybe, you know, listened and taken on board some sort of ideas and whatnot that they have.
You'd have thought so.
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley has some nice things to say on the Ariel Helwani channel. Speaking to Ariel, blah, blah, blah. Look how professional I am. Let me know in the comments below. So Bobby Lashley had a chat with Ariel Helwani on BT Sports YouTube channel.
He did.
That's what I was trying to say.
He was talking about theory as well. He said by the time he's my age, he's going to be on a stack of money as high as this building. I'm pretty sure it'll have been a high building they're on. He's going to be super duper star. 23 years old. That kid has everything in his future. I can see him being a multiple time world champion. Ooh. Now, the thing that we've had so far is, right, Tom, think about this. The youngest United States champion, the youngest Money in the Bank holder. Is he going to be the youngest world champion?
How old was Randall Keith?
Yes.
Randall Keith. Because wasn't Keith
he
the
23,
youngest?
24? He might have been 24.
Youngest.
Ooh. Yeah. You've got to get it in there dead quick.
Hey, Siri. Who was the youngest WWE champion?
Here's an answer from wikipedia.org. The youngest champion is Brock Lesnar, who won the title at the age of 25, while the oldest champion is Mr. McMahon, who won it at the age of 54.
There you go.
There you go.
Hey, Siri. What's my name?
You're Thomas, but you asked me to call you Dickhead.
Amazing.
Bit of fun there.
So what do you think?
Plenty of time, a couple of years then.
Yeah, plenty of time. Absolutely. So, I mean, the way that the sort of marketing theory and calling in the youngest this, the youngest that, does very much feel like it could potentially be going in that way.
Yeah, I have this image now of a very young theory.
Yeah, a very young theory. 12 years old.
Yeah, let's go back in time. Make him the champion. Ring of Honor coming back in a big way with Death Before Dishonor very, very soon. July 23rd, to be exact. Quite a few AEW stars are going to be competing at that show. FTR called out the Briscoes for the ROH tag titles at the show. I believe it was the FTR and the Briscoes at Supercard of Honor.
Yeah, it was.
So
yeah,
they can pick up the pace from where they left off.
They're just a fantastic sort of, again, like a clash, really. You know, sort of like FTR very much sort of old school, and the Briscoes have more, I think, of like an aggressive style. And I like that the way that they just both come together is so good. I think there's two of the best tag teams out there at the moment as well. So another round with those two teams, absolutely yes, please.
Samoa Joe will defend his ROH Television Championship against Jay Lethal.
Ooh.
They should have some fun. This is a feud that's been bubbling away on AEW television.
For a while, yeah. Samoa Joe out of action for a bit with like the shoulder stuff after Jay Lethal and everyone. He poked it with a pipe, and now it's coming back. So I could see Jay Lethal picking the win up there.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, Healy boy.
Ooh, okay. How do you feel about Wheeler Yuta defending his ROH Pure Championship at Death Before Dishonor against Daniel Garcia?
I feel very good. That's one for the downstairs region.
Oh, the downstairs region.
Or whatever it was. I think that was going to be very good. I was very sad to see Daniel Garcia go over to the JAS with Jericho rather than the Blackpool Combat Club, because I thought he'd be a perfect fit for the Blackpool Combat Club. And I mean, we'll see what happens. Perhaps there's something that teases maybe his alliance will change. Who knows? But I think these two together is going to be a very, very hard-hitting match.
Should be a good fun one. A lot of AEW stars rocking up for Death Before Dishonor on July the 23rd. Talking of young talents with lots of prospect, check out on the podcast feed my chat with Francesco Akira, one half of the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions.
That's a big get, that, Tom.
Yeah, he's a good lad.
Yeah.
First Italian champion in New Japan.
Oh wow!
You know, in at least before Bruno Sammartino, but I don't think Bruno wasn't New Japan. So what am I talking about? First person to hold that belt from Italy. Talk about the pressures of all that. Talk about how he got over there in the first place. It was a plane.
I was going to say.
And of course, 3 wrestling matches that he would watch while stranded on a desert island. It's on the podcast feed, and if you're a Patreon, you can watch the video of it as well. Anything else that we need to?
I think that's pretty much it, young man. I think we've done it. Pay-per-views are all done, aren't they, for now, for a little bit?
We're not live reacting this weekend?
No live reactions this weekend. Do you get a weekend off?
No, I'm going to go to, this is a company starting up called WES in Nottingham. I'm excited to go and see. Lena Fanene, Nia Jax is on the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think we better get
Can't wait to see that. I'm going to take Boris Johnson with me as Prime Minister. It's gonna...
But they're selling out fast on. We better get some.
They are indeed, aren't we all? More wrestling news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Keys.
Love you, bye.